authorities apparently ramping up their efforts in securing the U.S. border. ICE reportedly approving a plan that would separate families who are caught illegally crossing into the U.S. from Mexico. Let's talk about it with Leslie Marshall, syndicated radio host, and Rachel Campos Duffy, a Fox News contributor. As is Leslie. Welcome to you, ladies.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. All right, there we are. We're all together now. All right, I want to start with you, Rachel. Many people on both sides don't want to see a mother and father separated from their children. They're very young children in some cases. But how do you think doing so could help with the illegal border crossing situation we're in?
Well, first of all, I just want to say right up front, I am not in favor of any policy that separates children from their parents, even if it's a proposed deterrent to families crossing the border illegally. Look, I think that this policy came about, A, because it's a deterrent, but two, there's probably was a financial component to it when those who came up with this policy did. It's probably more expensive to house whole families than it is to separate and have juveniles and adults in a separate place. That said, I think it's a bad idea. I was a big critic of President Obama's policy that encouraged children to travel alone from Central America and Mexico. We saw children that were raped, maimed on trains, experiencing severe psychological trauma because of the separation. I think Trump ought to focus on the things he told us he was going to focus on during the election, which was to, one, prioritize criminal felons, and two, to secure our border so less families even attempt the crossing.
Leslie, somehow I have a feeling you see this all differently.
Actually, I think it's the first time all year Rachel and I have agreed that's my Christmas present to you, Rachel, and I guess for us to have our viewers. But I don't agree 100%. Okay, it wouldn't be any fun if I did, right? But no, as a look, I'm a Democrat, and she's a Republican, but I think we're both human beings and mothers first. And I agree with her. You never separate a child from their parent. That's traumatizing for the child. And you know what? We're supposed to be a nation of family values and a Judeo-Christian nation, and I think that those are just contrary, separating children from parents. The other thing is this is unnecessary. Remember, the last time this passed Kelly's desk, the reason that he did away with it was not only because of the outrage and the massive disapproval on both sides politically, but right now and then and now, illegal immigration numbers are at an all-time low. So this is not an issue, and we have to look at what are they fleeing? Why are people coming here? This is not going to be a deterrent when you're coming here to flee drug and sex trafficking, murder, gang, and the type of violence that they're seeing in some of these Central American countries. There's just no need for this right now. And in addition to that, what happens to these children when the 3 juvenile detention centers we have in Texas and Pennsylvania combined are already at maximum capacity? We've heard about outrageous abuse and deplorable conditions. That is just not the American way.
All right, Rachel, so if this is not the right focus, what do you think ICE agents should be focusing on here within the United States?
Again, I think we should focus on felons, and I think that Leslie brings up a good point. I mean, there's definitely good stuff that Trump is doing and can continue to do to secure the border and deter people from even thinking about coming. But she's right about looking at this more comprehensively. Look, under the last 8 years of Obama, I think that Latin America was neglected, both in terms of dealing with the drug enforcement and security issues that are driving or pushing people up to our border, but also economically. A lot of his policies led to more leftist governments and sort of encouraged that instead of encouraging capitalism and free markets and opportunity in Latin America, which again is another big component that pushes people forward. Trump has an amazing opportunity right now. We have a living example in Venezuela and other countries in Latin America of how those policies hurt people and cause them to want to flee their own home countries.
Gotta leave it there. I'm so sorry to cut it short. We're up against a break, but Leslie Marshall, thank you so much. My fellow radio person there in LA. We did radio together for a time at the same place, same time. So good to see you both. Yep. Thank you so much. Happy holidays. I love that you guys are, getting along in this kumbaya moment. So thank you.
Great way to start the new year.
Absolutely. Happy holidays to you both. Thank you.